Right now at 5, the Joplin Humane Society investigates after 8 puppies are found dead outside their building.
And it is another chilly day out there, at least a chilly start. Another below normal day, but it's going to start to heat up. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, we take you to the newest Route 66 attraction, a very tall piece of Texaco history in Galena, Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday here.
Yes, here we are.
It is Monday again, but this time it's not a holiday.
No.
So we're all going back to work, back to school. Right. Got a full week ahead of us. Going to be
first full week of September already.
Yeah, already here. And fall is just around the corner. And boy, it has certainly felt like fall the last few days. We actually
very refreshing.
We were tying and breaking record lows over the weekend, and it's pretty darn chilly out there again this morning. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't been outside yet. Once you go outside, believe me, you'll notice. Let's take a look outside. That way we save you the trouble of stepping outdoors. This is our camera, downtown Pittsburgh. We're looking pretty good this morning. We have clear skies across the region. Things are looking great. Saw it seen from our camera at 7th and Range Line. And we'll head down south to the Modi camera, 20th and Range Line. Again, just an absolutely beautiful but chilly start to the day. The future track has gotten really not much to show us. We'll have winds shifting out of the south late morning into the afternoon, and then by late evening and overnight, they'll come back up out of the southeast. Our highs today, they're still warm, but they're still below normal across the region. And again, the skies will remain clear. Bit cool out there. Take a look at Pittsburgh, 49 degrees this morning, 54 in Joplin, and around the area, take a look at look at all that blue. 48 Stockton and Cassville. We've got low mid 50s. We've got 47 Chautauqua and Miami as well as Jay. So a very cool start to say the least. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Again, it's going to be cool. Upper 40s, low 50s. They'll need a jacket, sunny skies, and then they'll want to make sure that jacket fits in their backpack because it'll be warm this afternoon. About 82 when the bus brings them home. Our highs today, right around the low to mid 80s out there. And we'll have that light south breeze and plentiful sunshine. After today, though, temperatures start warming up at or even above average. We'll go over those details with you here in the full forecast in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the father of a teen who was charged with leaving the scene of a fatal crash has now also been charged with 2 felonies related to the same crash. John Henry Joseph has been charged with leaving the scene of a fatal accident and encouraging a child under the age of 18 to leave the scene of a fatal accident. Now, Joseph was not driving the vehicle at the time of the accident. He has also not been arrested. However, a summons has been filed for Joseph to appear in court to face the charges October 7th, 2024. The charges were refiled for the teen driver to be charged as an adult. Rocco Henry Bazzano Joseph is charged with leaving the scene of a fatal crash. About 7:45 Friday evening, Carterville Fire was alerted to a house fire in the 300 block of Pearl Street. On arrival, they faced heavy smoke coming from the upstairs and a man that was trapped. After the man was rescued, the fire was quickly extinguished. Now, the source of the fire was a window AC unit. In our video, you can see firefighters spraying water through the AC unit, and the water has a spinning effect. And the man was rushed to an area hospital. Later, he was transferred to a Springfield unit for a higher level of care. His current condition is unknown. Fire units from Webb City, Oronogo, and Denawag assisted Carterville. Well, 8 puppies found dead inside a tote left at the Joplin Humane Society. The Joplin Humane Society staff say someone left a tote outside their building on Emperor Lane, but it was in a place hard to notice. All 8 puppies inside had died. The Joplin Humane Society Director Connie Andrews says the staff is all heartbroken at these senseless deaths. Andrews says she doesn't understand leaving them where they could not be seen. Now, to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, Democratic candidate for Missouri U.S. House District 7, Missy Hesketh, held a forum yesterday at the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 95. The event included dinner as Hesketh also filed questions from constituents. Now, Hesketh is currently the mayor of Forsyth, Missouri.
I got to meet so many wonderful people down at Landreth Park already today, and just revisiting with people that I've already met from Joplin and Neosho who are coming into town, and as far away actually as Taney County are here, and meeting new people and hearing their perspectives and why they want to see change in our representation. That just means the world to me.
Hesketh is running against incumbent Republican Eric Burleson and Libertarian Kevin Craig in the November election. A Texaco statue named Big A, which is more than 20 feet tall, is now standing at its new home on the historical Route 66 in Galena, Kansas. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the details.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, we have a Texaco giant at Gearhead Curios. I really don't know what to think. It's kind of cool. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's cool.
If you went on a road trip in America in the 1960s, there's a good possibility a statue like this may look a bit familiar. Texaco muffler men used to be a staple in advertising and roadside attractions, but only a select few of them were produced in the 60s. One of the most visited spots along the Joplin area Route 66 is Gearhead Curios in Galena, Kansas. The destination is a vintage Texaco fueling station turned into a souvenir shop and photo destination. The owner of Gearhead Curios, Aaron Perry, says Big A was a big find.
Texaco back in the 60s had what they called the Big Friend, and those molds have been destroyed. There's only 300 ever made. There's 6 left in existence. So we took what molds we had and made an homage to the Texaco Big Friend because he was in the Texaco uniform, he was waving.
Stephanie Daggett, the vice president of the Route 66 Association in Texas, told us that travelers from all over the world come to sightsee attractions like the Muffler Men.
You could talk to people from all over the world every day on Route 66 because they come here every day. It doesn't matter where you are on Route 66, you will meet people from all over the world every day.
Perry also told us that with his renovations and efforts to restore the former Texaco as a roadside attraction, he's come to form bonds with many people in support of his ideas.
I mean, I bought 4 walls and a bunch of imagination, and these people have been following my progress and support me all along. So to have this kind of a showing it's a blessing. It's really cool. And I'm happy to do something. I say it's mine, but it's for others to enjoy. And I think adding the giant is going to add an element to that and give one more thing for people to come out, a reason to come to Southeast Kansas, a reason to come to Galena, and have a memory, have a road trip, family vacation.
Big A was placed at his permanent home with the hopes that his silhouette, visible on Route 66, will give all who drive by a feeling of nostalgia for old American road trips. Reporting in Galena, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Well, from the top of his hat to the bottom of his shoes, Big A is 22 feet tall. He weighs about 1,200 pounds. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. We'll hear from both head coaches at Pitt State and Missouri Southern about how this year's Miners Bowl went over the weekend. Plus, Pope Francis travels to Papua New Guinea, bringing humanitarian aid and toys for the community. And we have a nice and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Another year of the Miners Bowl is in the books. Pittsburgh State went into Joplin on Saturday night and picked up a 42-17 win on the road. Gorillas have now won 10 in a row against Missouri Southern. Pitt State's win streak over Missouri Southern now spans that decade. On Saturday, the Gorillas put up 42 points on the board with 478 total yards of offense. The big key contributor was Noah Hernandez, who scored a single-game career-high 3 touchdowns on the night. Here's what both head coaches had to say following Saturday night's game.
You know, got punched in the mouth there to start the game with the turnover, then hit over the top. I think, you know, as a competitor, your juices kind of kick in, and they know that they got to come out and play at a higher level than they were playing, and I thought they did that.
When you get to come 30 minutes down the road to go play an away game. It's awesome. We have a lot of our fans here, a lot of alumni here in the community that came out to support tonight. It was amazing. Awesome environment.
I think what happened is I think you saw a Pitt State defense that's really good settle in. And so anytime you're in a chess match, I felt like in the first quarter we were making our moves. And then in the second quarter they kind of made their moves. And when they made their adjustments, it was tough for us to kind of get going.
The Kansas City Chiefs were off this Sunday after winning the NFL season opener last Thursday, but it was another action-packed Sunday around the rest of the league. Week 1 AFC West Division battle, Raiders at the LA Chargers. In the first quarter, the Chargers lead 3-0. Gardner Minshew drops back and dumps it off to Alexander Madison in the flat. Madison makes defenders miss. He stays inbounds and takes it in for the touchdown. Raiders lead 7-3. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, Chargers lead 9-7. J.K. Dobbins scores the touchdown after missing all of last season. LA extends their lead 16-7. Later in the fourth quarter, Justin Herbert completes this to his rookie receiver, Ladd McConkey, and he finds a way into the end zone to score his first NFL touchdown. But after the two-point conversion try, we have some extracurricular activity. That led to a couple of ejections. However, Chargers hang on the win. LA beats the Raiders 22-10 in Jim Harbaugh's return to the NFL. Here's a look around the rest of the AFC on Sunday. Miami comes back to beat Jacksonville 2017 on a game-winning field goal. Dolphins start 1-0 to begin the season and have a short week. Dolphins host the Buffalo Bills on Thursday night. Meanwhile, the biggest shocker of the week, New England goes on the road to defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 16-10. Head coach Jared Mayo gets his first win as head coach after taking over for Patriots legendary head coach Bill Belichick. Kansas City Royals are on the chase to claim their first playoff bid since the team won the World Series in 2015. After losing 7 straight games earlier last week, the Royals have now won 3 in a row. Aiming for the sweep on Sunday, Michael Wacha gets the start for KC in the 4th inning. Gets Trevor Larnach to swing and miss. Next batter, Matt Wallner, can't handle the high heat. Then he finishes the inning by striking out the side. 7 innings pitched for him on the afternoon and no earned runs. We go to the 5th inning. Bases loaded for Salvador Perez. He hits a slow chopper down the line and it stays fair. That'll be an RBI single. Royals lead 2-0 at that point. Going to the 9th, Michael Garcia makes a great diving play and throws the runner out. Royals win their 4th straight. Kansas City beats Minnesota 2-0. Out to St. Louis, Cardinals hosting the Mariners. It's the 1st inning. Mariners already lead 3-0, and they add to it as Mitch Garver drives in 2 more. Seattle leads 5-0 in the 1st inning. We head to the 2nd inning. Same score as Randy Orozarena yanks one down the line and hits sails over the wall for a 2-run homer. Mariners offense stays hot as Seattle leads 7-0. St. Louis trailing 7-2 in the 5th. Jorge Polanco smokes one into the gap, and it lands in the bleachers for another 2-run homer. All Mariners on Sunday. Seattle beats St. Louis 10-4. So to come, we're going to see why a growing number of children and young adults have high blood pressure. Plus, another check of that forecast when the warmer weather gets here when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:18 now on this Monday morning, and we are starting with our tour of the 4 states in downtown Pittsburgh. Our camera there looking pretty good so far this morning. Again, it is a bit of a chilly start this morning as well. Over the weekend, we tied and even broke some record lows out there. Our camera 7th and range line, there is a spider web out there, but I suspect that spider is probably not enjoying the cooler temperatures. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, looking back to the north, also looking pretty good this morning as well. And same from the KDOT camera at 69 in Kansas Crossing. Beautiful start to the day again, albeit a bit on the cold side. Now the future track over the next 3 days doesn't have much to show us other than the fact temperatures are going to start to increase. Not today though. We got one more below normal day. We'll have winds begin to shift out of the south for most of us as we head into late morning, afternoon. Then later this evening and overnight, they'll switch back out of the south and east. Our highs today still a bit below normal as we go into the low to mid 80s across the region. Overnight tonight will be another chilly one, but not as cool as it has been the last couple of nights. We'll still be back into the low to mid 50s and some upper 50s out there as well. Now on our Tuesday, we're up to about 80 by noon, still dealing with sunny skies across the region. However, take a look at these temperatures. They're a bit warmer. We're talking mid upper 80s out there. Then we go into Tuesday night because it's a little warmer by day. It's also going to be a little warmer by night. Still some upper 50s and low 60s across the region on Tuesday night. Then into Wednesday, maybe a few clouds here and there, and we'll continue to warm up. And this time now we're going a little above normal for our highs, getting close to about 90 degrees across the area. And then it'll be another mild evening as well because, of course, as we heat up by day, it means the overnight temperatures will be warm as well. In Joplin right now, again, clear skies, 54 degrees. The wind is calm. As we look at temperatures around the region, again, it is a chilly start. Look at all these blues out here. These are the cooler temperatures. Look at some of these. 48, Cassville, Jay, Grove, Veneta, Stockton, Chetopa, Pittsburgh, sitting at 47 as the cool spot in Miami right now. And the rest of us in the low to mid 50s to start the day. So you'll definitely want a jacket as you head out the door, but you'll want to make sure it's a jacket you can either easily put away or carry because it's going to warm up. As I mentioned, still below normal, but it'll be warm this afternoon. Sunny skies through this morning, and so again, a chilly start. Not too bad by 11 o'clock, low 70s out there. Highs today, low to mid 80s, so it's a gradual warm up, and we'll start to reach those highs a little later this afternoon. And as we head into this evening, it's another clear night. Temperatures, another chilly one as well. They'll fall pretty quickly through the overnight hours, down to the mid 60s by 10 and right around the low mid 50s, maybe some upper 50s overnight tonight as well. As we head down the road, now the good news is we're not looking at extreme heat by any means, but as you can see on Wednesday, we've got low 90s. We're going to hang out into the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees over the next several days. Friday is a day to watch. There's a tropical system down in the Gulf. Depending on how it develops over the next few days, it may just barely clip us and give us some light rain showers. If it changes its development, it may shift a little further to our east and we won't really see anything from it, but it's something we'll watch. Otherwise, again, staying hot into the weekend and next week, upper 80s and low 90s. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Well, a new study from the American Heart Association reveals the number of young adults who have high blood pressure has grown significantly. The study found that nearly a quarter of those ages 18 to 39 years old have high blood pressure. Data also revealed that about 13% of children ages 8 to 17 also have elevated blood pressure. Now, the report detailed how the majority of young adults with high blood pressure are suffering from food insecurity, low income, and lack of insurance. Experts are concerned that over time, kids and young adults who already have high blood pressure may be at risk to have a stroke or develop heart disease late in life. Well, the heat is still on in this week in northern San Luis Obispo County, California. Now, because of that, the local school district is limiting outdoor activity and in some cases prohibiting it altogether. Ashley Stevens shows us how a high school football team is managing the heat.
What do we call it? Hydration party.
Every Friday before a football game, players come into head coach Matt Carroll's classroom.
They come in, they have a small bottle of water, they have to drink it in front of me. They do it as a team. Really, we're just emphasizing that hydration is important.
Through summer and early fall, Carroll keeps an eye on his student athletes by checking their skin color and making sure they are sweating throughout the day. After practice is over, they have to check into the training room.
It's their job that night to come in and make up that water weight. So they have to hydrate throughout the day. And so if they're 2 pounds short the next day, they don't get to practice.
Carroll's student athletes took a class covering heat stroke, learning the signs and what to do if a teammate goes down. There's only been one accident 2 athletes were witness to.
He just overheated. It was a really hot game. It was super humid, so.
The hydration party holds students accountable.
Coach Carroll really makes sure that he makes sure everybody's hydrated and stuff like that. Like on game days especially, we all come in and we got to drink water in front of Coach Carroll and stuff like that. So, yeah. We're pretty on top of drinking water.
When temperatures hit the 90s, students find relief in air-conditioned classrooms.
I'll go through a whole, maybe like something like this kind of size. It just in the, like by the time I'm halfway through the school day.
The school district has guidelines to restrict outdoor activities like recess, PE, and practice, depending on temperature and air quality.
We want to protect our students that are especially susceptible to heat illness. We're taking precautions not only daily at our school sites, but this Friday night we have a home football game, which they have pushed the times back so that we might avoid some of the heat of the day.
Well, the district's heat guidelines are called Real-Time Outdoor Activity Risk, or ROAR. The restrictions have 5 levels depending on temperature ranges and don't start to go into effect until temperatures hit the 80s. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got another pretty chilly start to the day out there. Got another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, the 3rd annual Duck and Jeep Derby takes place to help raise money for the Special Olympics.
And it's a bit of a chilly start out there this morning. It's going to be another below normal day, but this is the last of those for a while. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Page-A-Palooza Fall Festival took place in Joplin over the weekend. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's just coming up on 5:31. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday. It's September the 9th. It's the first full work week for many folks in September.
Yes,
a lot of folks had the Monday off last week or whatever the case may be. So hopefully this first full week of September will be good. And it's a good time to actually be at work or school because it's going to start to heat up outside.
Right. Yep. Even though we're only just a few weeks away from fall.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
And it's going to heat right up again across the area. Now, thankfully, it's not going to go excessive by any means, but still, compared to the last few days, it's going to be notably warmer out there. But not today. Got one more day of below normal temperatures. Let's start with a quick look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We've got clear skies out there this morning. Again, a bit of a cool start to the day as well. Got a nice view from our camera at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin as well. We have a spider web out there. That spiders, again, probably not enjoying that cold. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline, looking back to the north, also looking fairly good this morning as well. Future track today, really the 2 things it's going to show is temperatures and it's going to show us the wind shift. By late morning, early afternoon, most of us are going to have our winds shifting out of the south, and then by later this afternoon and overnight, they'll go back out of the southeast for most of us around the area, and our temperatures today, at least one more time, will be below normal out there. Right now, though, it is well below normal. Check that out. 48 in Pittsburgh right now, 54 in Joplin, and around the region this morning, take a look, we've got a lot of upper 40s and low 50s out there, so a very cool, very fall-like start to the day. It's just a little preview of what we will eventually get to, but we're not quite there yet. Kids get on the bus, as mentioned, they're going to want a light jacket, but they're going to want a jacket that also fits in their backpack or they can carry home easily or whatever the case may be. About 52 when the bus picks them up. Sunny skies when it brings them home. That's why they got to be able to put that jacket away because it'll warm up. It'll be about 82 by the time the bus brings them home today. Low to mid 80s for our highs. Sunny skies and a light southerly breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So another very beautiful day out there. As mentioned, temperatures will begin to warm up over the next few days. We'll have a look at that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Jomo Pride Fest hit its 3rd and final day yesterday. Yesterday's theme was Pride in the Park, which was held in Landreth Park. The event included 35 vendors, a dog show, Pride bingo, a drag show, and more. There was even a dance break in the middle of the day.
I think Pride is a community. We come together and it's about acceptance, it's about not judging people, it's about love and pushing the haters out. And I think that's one of the big things that I love about it is that you walk away feeling good about the event.
Jomo Pride Fest moved to its 3-day schedule last year. Well, the Pagapalooza Fall Festival happened Saturday in Joplin. Attendees could get products from local vendors ranging from t-shirts to even pumpkins and simple syrups. Now, Carthage Humane Society showed off dogs available for adoption, and the event also included bounce houses, food trucks, and more.
I enjoy all the people that are out here. Everybody seems to be in a very good and uplifting mood. And with all the help that's been going on with Pagapalooza itself, all the people are just very connected and very communicative, and I enjoy that.
I like getting the dogs out of the shelter because it's good for them to not be in their kennels. It's good for them to get some fresh air and get lots of love and pets from other people.
Well, Front Page also had deals in store for attendees during the event. Well, Special Olympics Kansas and the Crawford County Sheriff's Office collaborated for the second annual Duck and Jeep Derby. The event helps raise money for the Special Olympics. Now, Jeeps are judged in two categories: Best Decorated and People's Choice. The Best Decorated category is selected by Special Olympics athletes, and the top 3 Jeeps in each category received a plaque. The event also featured giveaways, cornhole, and more.
The sheriff really likes Jeeps and came to us with the idea to have a Duck and Jeep Derby. We really honestly didn't know what it was, but it has completely flourished, and it's really cool to see kind of a different part of the community come together and raise money for Special Olympics.
If you come outside and find that someone has put a rubber duck on your Jeep, it's a way to show kindness. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Deadly widespread flooding continues in southern India, leaving people stuck in their homes. Plus, a large protest continue in Tel Aviv, putting new pressure on the Israeli government to reach a deal. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch. A bill that would have provided home loans to illegal immigrants in California shot down by the California governor, who vetoed the bill despite it being backed by members of his own party, citing a lack of funding in the state's budget. Christina Coleman has more.
If California Governor Gavin Newsom would have signed the bill into law, it would have given some illegal immigrants up to $150,000 in California taxpayer funding for first-time home ownership loans. Governor Newsom vetoed the controversial bill Friday, citing financial reasons. California faces a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit.
When we have a $62 billion deficit this year, we should be doing everything we can to support Californians and legal residents, our veterans, our children, our disabled.
We can't afford these unsustainable programs.
Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance was not a fan of the program either. He addressed this Friday during his visit to the southern border near San Diego.
California has made a catastrophic error at the state level, of course, backed by a lot of the San Francisco liberal policies that Kamala Harris has supported, that we want to give illegal aliens free mortgages. We want to give illegal aliens really generous health care benefits, and that has induced a lot of illegal aliens to come into the state of California.
On Thursday, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump announced he would ban illegal immigrants from obtaining home mortgages if he were elected.
We also cannot ignore the impact that the flood of 21 million illegal aliens has had on driving up housing costs. That's why my plan will ban mortgages for illegal aliens.
In California, unaffordable housing is one of the big reasons for the homelessness crisis in this state. The median home price here is more than $900,000.
Pope Francis traveled to the remote jungles of Papua New Guinea yesterday, bringing with him medicine, musical instruments, and a message of love. Francis visited the northwest coast of the South Pacific nation. The Holy Father met with the local Catholic community and the missionaries from his native Argentina who have been ministering to them. The Argentine pontiff has marveled at having been chosen from the end of the earth to lead the church. This trip was a voyage to another end of the earth on the longest, farthest pilgrimage of Francis's pontificate. The Pope told the faithful they may feel themselves distant from both their faith and the institutional church, but that God was close to them. Well, in southern India, rescue teams have been helping people evacuate after heavy rain set off widespread flooding. Now, some people are still stuck in their homes, and there have been complaints there are not enough rescue boats to get everyone out. The disaster response forces said the rescue operation has been challenging. Some rescuers have gotten injured as they try to help thousands of stranded residents. At least 32 deaths due to the flood-related incidents have been reported. India's weather office says more rain is expected in the coming days. Well, calls to end the Israel-Hamas war and get the remaining hostages out of Gaza growing louder over the weekend. The largest protest to date happening in the streets of Tel Aviv Sunday, putting new pressure on the Israeli government to reach a deal. Troy Yanks reports from Tel Aviv.
That's right. It was the largest demonstration since the war began. 500,000 people in the streets of Tel Aviv calling for a deal. There were other gatherings in places like Jerusalem and Haifa demanding that an agreement be reached. But at this point in the war, those demands could remain unmet. American teams are trying another bridging proposal to get Israel and Hamas on the same page. As reports indicate, there are new disagreements about which Palestinian prisoners would be released for the Israeli captives.
We've got to bring them back all home, the hostages, the alive, the ones and the dead ones, because otherwise there is no future to this country. Really can't see it happen.
With the war raging on inside Gaza, Israel is conducting new airstrikes along the Strip, though the more active front remains in northern Israel, where Iran-backed Hezbollah launched dozens of rockets across the border overnight. Daily Israeli counterstrikes have targeted different Hezbollah positions in southern Lebanon. We're also tracking other developments on Israel's eastern border, where 3 people were killed today when a gunman crossed from Jordan and conducted a terror attack at the Allenby Bridge. Clearly, there are many fronts unfolding at the same time, and this does put pressure on Israeli leadership to reach an agreement to try and de-escalate rising tension across the region.
That's it for World Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:45 on this Monday morning. We're starting the live look from MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin, looking back to the north. We are dry, we are clear, we are cool. Well, for some, we are just straight up cold out there. KDOT camera, 69 in Kansas Crossing, just south of Pittsburgh, also looking pretty good as we get this day underway. And the future track for the next few days does not really have a lot to show us, and other than some wind changes and the fact it's going to heat up. Now today, eventually by late morning, early afternoon, winds will shift out of the south, but temperatures will still be below normal for us as we head into the afternoon. By late afternoon into the evening, the winds will begin to shift more so out of the southeast, and we'll have another relatively chilly night across the area. And then we'll head into our Tuesday, and Tuesday is when things really start to begin to warm up. Now, the good news is we're not talking a significant jump in temperatures. We're not going to go from the low 80s to the upper 90s, but it is going to be noticeably warmer. By noon tomorrow, we're looking to be right around 80 degrees for most of us. That's going to put our highs into the upper 80s. So by Tuesday, we're at or right around normal for us. And then as we head into our Wednesday, it's going to be another warm day across the area. We'll have a slightly more mild overnight, upper 50s, low 60s Tuesday into Wednesday. And by Wednesday, again, we'll start to heat up a bit more, maybe a few clouds here or there. Otherwise, sunny skies, and our highs getting a lot closer to 90 degrees as we head into Wednesday. Right now, though, again, it is a bit chilly. 54 in Joplin. The winds are calm. The air very dry out there. Dew points at 38. Humidity is 55%. Temperatures across the region, they look about like this. We've got upper 40s and low 50s across the area. And so far, Stockton and Miami now are the 2 cool spots, both sitting at 47 degrees. As we get through the morning hours, we are looking at, again, chilly start and eventually into low 70s by 11 o'clock, but sunny skies all the way through. We'll have sunny skies this afternoon, a light southerly breeze, and highs into the low to mid 80s across the region. We head into tonight, clear skies. Another cool one, low, mid, and upper 50s across the area, so we'll have kind of a good mix of temperatures. Then as we continue down the road, our warmest day so far looks to be Wednesday, low 90s out there. Upper 80s to right around 90 will be the trend into the weekend and next week. Friday is something we're watching. There's a tropical system down in the Gulf. Depending on how it develops over the next few days, it could either just graze us by Friday morning, or it could potentially miss us completely. So we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, Nicole Kidman receives one of the Venice Film Festival's biggest prizes, and the Wolfman gets a modern update. Here's Rick Damagella with the Hollywood Minute.
Nicole, on your right shoulder. Nicole Kidman nabs another major honor. The actress took home the Best Actress Award at this year's Venice Film Festival for her work in the erotic thriller Baby Girl. The event's top honor, the Golden Lion Award for Best Film, went to Pedro Almodovar's The Room Next Door.
What was that thing, Blake?
It sounded like an animal. Werewolves return to the big screen. This is your first look at Wolfman, a new remake of the 1941 horror classic. Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner star in the freaky flick, which is set to arrive in January. Jamie Foxx will open up about his recent health scare in a new stand-up set. The actor has yet to publicly disclose what caused his 2023 hospitalization, but he announced a new one-man show on his Instagram titled What Had Happened Was, An Evening with Jamie Foxx. The event will take place in Atlanta over 3 nights in October and will reportedly be taped for Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Well, a wild street takeover event fueled by social media and packed with dangerous driving stunts and fireworks explosions. It's broken up by the long arm of the law in the skies. Jerry Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Spinouts, sparks, and speeding. A crazy car-crammed street takeover was caught on camera by the very law enforcement officials who swooped in to break it up. Night vision aerial video captured in Riverside, Florida shows the illegal street takeover event that police say was coordinated through social media. Souped-up cars are seen burning donuts into an intersection while shooting off fireworks as a crowd of hundreds flocked and gawked. Then, as the authorities arrive, the crowd scatters in all directions. Ultimately, county and state officials combined to arrest 10 people, confiscating drugs, 3 guns, and 4 vehicles. In Washington, D.C., it was what was under a street, not on it, that made headlines. A secret 120-year-old chamber has been discovered near the National Mall. That's according to the National Park Service that says this 30-foot deep brick-lined cistern was found while digging up street utility lines as part of a renovation project at the Smithsonian Castle. The agency says the cistern was empty, but social media fans of the movie National Treasure were quick to suggest that officials check every brick before giving up. Finally, an ancient discovery in Scotland is giving Lord of the Rings vibes after a 1,000-year-old Pictish ring was unearthed by an amateur archaeologist. The kite-shaped ring with a garnet or red glass center was uncovered by the volunteer in a dig led by the University of Aberdeen. No word on any magical powers, but then again, Frodo didn't know what he had until Gandalf rode to Gondor to find ancient scrolls foretelling the ring's power and cast it into a fire revealing elvish writings in the language of Mordor. So, yeah, I'm a nerd. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Stick around, we're back with more right after this. Well, it's NFL season time, and already some zoo animals are figuring out what NFL tactics work. These creatures at a zoo in Brookfield, Illinois, were working on how to ice the game or maybe even ice the kicker, trying to win one. Seals and dolphins and even Chicago Bears were given some fun ice blocks Thursday with the Chicago Bears helmet and a mascot, or snack-sized gelatins and ice treats shaped like footballs, to work up an appetite to the season opening games last weekend. The zoo also fed its bears fruits and meats in orange and blue ice blocks, the color of the hometown team. The newest panda bear additions at a Berlin zoo are gaining some weight. The twin babies now weigh 15 and 18 ounces respectively, and what was once their pink skin is transforming into the well-known black and white look. Now, the twins were born in August at the zoo thanks to the assistance of the Berlin zoo staff and panda breeding experts from China. If it were not for the help of humans, one of the twins would most likely have not survived. Now, since pandas typically only raise one of their babies if they give birth to a set of twins.
Certainly interesting how animals perceive life and children and things like that. I mean, can you imagine if we as parents did that, if you had twins and you just left one to the side but took care of one of them only? Be very weird. Thankfully, we don't do it that way, which is good, very good. And today's going to be a great day to get outside. If you've got twins, take them out to the park after school. It's going to be beautiful. Clear skies to start, cool, and then low 70s by 11 o'clock. Another below normal day as temperatures go into the low to mid 80s across the area with a light south breeze. Winds will begin to shift out of the southeast by late evening and overnight, mid 60s by 10. And depending on where you are, we've got a variable range of, say, upper 50s to low 50s to upper 50s across the area. So another pretty chilly night out there. Temperatures begin to warm up, though, at or very near average on Tuesday, slightly above Wednesday, low 90s. We'll hang on to temperatures at or just a pinch above average as we head into the weekend. Maybe a couple of isolated showers Friday morning. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.